Ross is alluding to like him having help with like a stay scheming or some shit. That would mortify us.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
Drake. All right, now y'all know my boy Drizzy has been having a tough week. The reference tracks, the BBL Drizzy verse with Sexy Red. Let's see what the Podfather had to say about this. And y'all Kendrick fans, don't act like I didn't make that video about that Kendrick Ghostwriter and the reference track, but y'all don't want to see that. Let's see what Joe had to say. Make sure you like the video and subscribe.
This shit hard.
This is hard.
Now, Act did come here and say that there might be a Mob Ties reference track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I will say, this might be the first time I've heard a reference track that had that much character. Like,
a rap reference track.
Rap, yes, rap. Rap reference track where normally you could hear where the performer of it takes this up a notch and why that person is where he is. But Vory is an actual artist, so he was bouncing on that.
That don't
shit.
sound like a reference track to me. That sound like this was my record.
Yeah,
and you might have heard it and said, "Let me get that."
I think I saw another leak come out.
Yeah, Ratchet, happy birthday.
Yeah, what the hell is going on? He could have kept this one.
Could have kept the other one too.
I have this as arguably the worst Drake song ever made. Ratchet, happy birthday.
A lot of people hate that song.
I hate it.
No hate.
No,
I think that's his worst song. No, I hate the song too. I'm saying no hate to Drake.
Oh, yeah.
That song, I think, is his worst song. But, all right, so what is the conversation? We've known forever that Drake has a team of writers, writing camps. These writers are credited on these songs. What is the commotion? Like, it's different from hearing fucking some of the refs we heard earlier from If You're Reading This Is Too Late versus like Act sat here and said, yo, if we hear Mob Ties for Act, that was a timestamp record. Like imagine if Lord Knows came out with a ref track. Now I'm with you. I think Drake is skilled enough and witty enough that when he writes, it's great. But the problem is now that it's safe to assume some of the records that we thought were from solely your brain, even if we saw the extra names in the credits, they might have fucking added a word or an idea, a thought. We hearing words from his verse in some of these reference tracks that were for the MCs. I think this Mob Tie shit is for the MCs, even though it got a little bop. Like, he was in his bag. So to hear shit like this, if a timestamp record come out with a reference track,
changes everything.
You will understand.
For me, it need to be
if Lord Knows or something come out like that. But the bigger thing is, why is all the Drake reference tracks always leaked? Who has it out for him?
That's weird.
We don't hear nobody else's reference tracks to have this conversation like that. Somebody is I don't think the battle is really over. When he was beefing with Meek, and Meek went and sat with Quentin or however them tracks came out and we started hearing those. I don't care about Dark Lane Tape. I don't care about Certified Lover Boy. That's his camp doing some shit. I'm talking about the refs of the songs. I only hear him in beef. So that makes me think now that there's beef again with a nigga who just finished saying there's a leak in your camp. Somebody has your hard drive. They found that laptop. With Ross saying, hey, tell us the other records that you didn't write. See, Ross is alluding to like him having help with like a stay scheming or some shit. That would mortify us.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
That would mortify us if somebody else said, nigga, you wasn't in the gym, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Was you in the gym?
Yeah, that would hurt.
We would be hurt. I care about this because somebody just put on a master class and their main objective was this person is not of culture and not like us. And now, not even a month later, it seems like somebody is still trying to throw art at that picture.
Well, going back to the 30 for 30 freestyle, Drake kind of alluded to all of this starting back then when he said, you know, I'm not sure what else you expected when the higher ups have all come together as a collective with conspiracies to end my run and send me a message. So it seemed like he was talking like, I know some shit down, like these niggas are trying to get me up out of here.
Now, first off, I gotta agree with Joe. I do not like Ratchet Happy Birthday by Drake. Now, ladies, I know that's one of y'all favorite songs when it's your birthday. Every time I'm at a girl's birthday dinner and we out late and it hit 12 o'clock, they play this song up loud and they get to dancing and a titty might pop out. So I like the song for that scenario. And I think that was the thinking behind the song when Drake made it, because that song will be like a classic song. It's almost like this new generation's version of the Stevie Wonder Happy Birthday, right? So I get to thinking, but I don't like it. But really, the song I hate the most by Drake is Fire and Desire off of Views from the Six. I hate that song with a passion. I just do not like that song. I don't like the way Drake did it, the way he sung it. It's just, it's ass. What that nigga Joe say that time? That nigga put out a 3-pack of ass. Like, that's how I feel about Fire and Desire. And I'm a Drake fan, but I could say that, okay? Now, let's have a real conversation. First off, I want to point out that, or second off, because I already did my first point, but y'all with me, okay? I want to let y'all know that Ice did agree with me when I said that Mob Ties wasn't a lyrical song by Drake. Joe said he felt like Mob Ties had Drake getting into his rapper bag, so he still counted it as, like, this is an example of you getting help with your raps. So we can do 50-50 on that, but, you know, it's me and Ice versus Joe, so we win, okay? The majority wins. And I know all of y'all out there, y'all feel like Mob Ties is a rapper rap song or a rappy rap lyrical song. It's not. It's not. It's not. Bro, Drake is singing on that song. It's very melodic. That's not the same as a timestamp record by Drake. Also, we got to give Joe Budden the credit for that title when it comes to Drake. Timestamp Drake. That's the Drake we needed in that Kendrick Lamar versus Drake battle. But going back to what I'm saying, but I just had to give Joe a shout out for that because I felt like that was such an elegant way to just kind of give a title to lyrical Drake. Timestamp Drake, all right? But Mob Ties was not a timestamp Drake record, all right? And like they said on the pod, if somebody came out with a reference track of Stay Scheming or his verse on I'm On One, y'all, my heart would drop. But we haven't got any verses like that have been connected to a reference track or a ghostwriter. I saw Queen's Flip start to talk about when it comes to these writers, you kind of got to give Drake a pass because when it comes to these pop songs and these melodic songs, Drake is putting out a lot of music. His shit is like a company. So he's putting a lot of shit out. So, of course, he's getting help when he's putting out so much music. But if the songs aren't, to me, the songs that display his rapping ability, I'm not looking at it as like, oh, this means Drake is not a good writer. Especially when we got Kanye West at Drink Champs saying that Drake is the greatest writer of all time. Now, yes, this was before they was beefing, but Ye said that. Drake has wrote for a lot of y'all favorite rappers. I can hear it in the way that he be talking. But he just don't want to expose everybody that he wrote for. But we know for a fact he wrote for Kanye because Kanye admitted it. We all know that Kanye is not a rapper like that. We all know everybody at Good Music was feeding him bars. Big Sean, Pusha T, Saha the Prince, all of them. 2 Chainz. Whoever was in the room. That's why he used to have those big meetings and everybody from Good Music would be in there so Kanye could take verses from them. But he felt like Drake was better than all of them because he never shouted out nobody from Good Music having a crazy pen. He shouted out Drake's pen. And I just think that's something y'all really need to think about, bro. Drake is responsible for this generation's music for the last, we could say, almost 15 years. They copied Drake's sound. A lot of these people copied Drake's sound. Just like before it was Drake, they was copying Kanye's sound. And we can have a conversation about maybe somebody like Kendrick's sound can't be copied. Same thing with J. Cole. Maybe you can't copy their style. Also, in this battle, I think something I really learned about Drake that I have to admit, I don't know how fast he can come up with some of those classic verses that we heard from him. I don't know how long it took him on Lemon Pepper Freestyle. I don't know how long it took him on, Stay Scheming verse. But I think Kendrick can give you those classic Kendrick verses at a reasonable pace. Because I feel like all those diss records, he was making those while Drake was putting out Tailor-Made Freestyle and Push-Ups. I think that little break when we was talking about, Kendrick gotta respond, he cooked up all of those records. And then as Drake put his shit out, all Kendrick had to do was kind of like plug and play. He would put a couple of lines in there to make it seem like it's super recent. But I think the majority of those records were already made by the time the battle really started going back and forth. And Kendrick, all he had to do was just be like, all right, drop this now, drop this now. But I think essentially he came up with all of that shit at a very quick pace. I don't think any of those songs that Kendrick made were the songs that we was hearing about, like, Kendrick had this record for 10 years. I think all of that shit he made in between Like That and Push-Ups. But, I think this writing thing is just something we need to just kind of get over when it comes to hip-hop, and we just have to admit, everybody's getting help, even Kendrick, all right? Let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. Hey, nigga, donate. Hit the super chat. Scan the PayPal. Hit the Cash App. Thank you. Have a blessed day.